Hey baseball fan, it's rough out there. Time for a little self-care, like spending quality time with the box scores from last night, savoring comfort food like hot dogs with mustard and onions, and a few minutes of cardboard meditation. Welcome to the show that features some of baseball's oddest stories and the cardboard slabs that document them. So go ahead, relax your mind, retreat to your happy place, and get ready to find peace and joy through baseball cards with your host, the Big Guy.
Welcome to Cardboard Meditation. I'm the Big Guy. I'm going to show you 3 stories today that'll soothe your stressful mind, make you laugh a little bit. You ever hear that thing that real estate agents say that's important when you're buying and selling real estate? Location, location, location. Well, the same can be said about stories from baseball's past. Some really great stories come from the era of the 1930s and 1940s. And we're going to talk about places like Shibe Park, the Polo Grounds, and of course, Ebbets Field. They were all magical baseball locations, but truth of the matter isn't that the stadiums were the sites of these odd stories. It was the players that inhabited them. Let's take a look at some strange events that happened at the former home of the Brooklyn Dodgers and current site of the Ebbets Field Apartments. Now, I'll spare you all the drama of the late 50s when the once-loved Brooklyn Dodgers just up and left their stadium and moved to Los Angeles. It still breaks the hearts of the New Yorkers to this day. Instead, I'll talk about the day back in 1919 when the Pittsburgh Pirates rolled into Brooklyn to take on the Dodgers and a young outfielder named Casey Stengel. You remember him, right? The great manager? Well, he was a player before managing his way to the Hall, once roaming the outfield in Ebbets Field. And in May 1919, the Dodgers traded him to the Pittsburgh Pirates. So when the Pirates rolled into New York City early in 1919, old Casey had the opportunity to step up to the plate. And when he did so, the Dodger faithful gave him a rousing round of applause. Casey was so humbled by the cheering crowd, he tipped his hat, and a bird flew out from under his cap. The fans loved it, and the press was real quick to make a story of it, but here's how it happened. Between innings, Casey wandered into the Dodger bullpen to visit with some old teammates, and the fellas showed Casey that a banged-up bird flew into the area. The guys gave Casey this bird to take to the trainer's room because they felt the trainer could fix him up. Well, Casey had to get back to the game and place the bird under his hat. And then he forgot about it. Well, that's what he said anyway. But when he thanks the cheering crowd, a little bird, happy to be free, zipped out from under his hat, and another strange but true Ebbets Field story was written. Here's an affordable card of the old Birdman of Ebbets Field. It's a 1953 Bowman black and white number 39. It's a gorgeous card of his managing days, and let's face it, his playing days cards are expensive, and his playing, well, it's not what he's known for. You can find this ungraded and good to very good for around $150 or less. All right, the next location of this next story is also in the boroughs of New York City. Where else? And it's about a wacky player that once played for the Brooklyn Robins, the great Floyd Herman, also known as Babe Herman. No, not the guy you're thinking of, but Babe was a slugger and ended his career with a .324 batting average, 181 home runs, and 997 RBIs. Those are respectable stats. He later played for the Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh Pirates, Detroit Tigers, and finally, back to Brooklyn, but as a Dodger, no longer Robins. He was known for hitting, but also his silliness. Here's his story. Sports writers used to write more about his antics than his playing abilities, so he approached one of the sports writers that was a little hard on him, and Babe asked the writer to give him a break and stop criticizing him so much. His family is getting embarrassed, he said. The sports writer, feeling sorry for Babe, said he'd slow down the reports of his jokes, and Herman put his hand out to shake the reporter's hand and say thank you, then reached into his uniform, pulled out a lit cigar from his pocket, and started puffing away. The sports writer was so flabbergasted he stormed away and said the deal was off, then continued to write about the tomfoolery in Flatbush and the zany antics of Babe Herman. Here is his 1933 Gaudy card number 5. Ungraded, a very good version, is going to cost you around $200 or less. Okay, let's talk about the crosstown rivals of the Brooklyn Dodgers, and that is the New York Giants. The home opener of the Dodgers in 1937 saw the dreaded Giants hop on the bus and cruise into Brooklyn, and led by Dick Bartell. Rowdy Richard, as he was affectionately known, Dick was known to be a little bit of a firebrand, an agitator. His hometown Giants loved him. Well, for now, because Dick was traded a lot because he was, well, an instigator, and he wore thin on most people. In fact, crowds from other teams loved to hack on him, which is what was going on back in early 1937. The very first pitch the Giant shortstop saw, he started complaining. Well, it was called a strike, but Dick thought it was a ball, and when the ump said nope, it was a strike, Rowdy Richards started making a lot of noise. One fan in the Brooklyn stands was having none of it and threw a tomato from the stands and hit him right in the chest. I think throwing produce was a big thing back in those days. I always wondered what the ushers thought when a fan sat down with salad fixins. You know those greens were going to find their way out onto the field. You know that, right? I'm just glad they didn't throw out a bottle of dressing or something. Well, here's a card from Dick's playing days, 1935 Diamond Stars. These have gotten popular in recent years, and commons and minors have become a little more expensive. This card, in very good condition, should cost you around $50 to $90. Well, there you go. 3 amazing stories from the city that never sleeps, and 3 amazing cards you can add to your legacy collection. We're going to talk about the legacy collections, yours and mine, later on in some episodes, so take notes, okay? And you know, happiness is something other people don't give you. You're not entitled to it. You have to bring happiness to life. So bring it in the form of collecting what you like. Talk soon.
Just like that feeling you get after the 7th inning stretch? Fresh and focused. Cardboard Meditation helps set your mind right. Thank you for watching. Show us your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell while you're at it so you'll know when we upload a new story.